At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality walking shoes, which might lead to another discovery.
40,000 steps, baby. Who's on top now, Karen?
You've taken the office step challenge a step too far. Don't worry, though. Sierra also has yoga gear. It might be a good place to find your zen. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Change is always happening. But no matter what changes in 5 years, there's one thing that will stay the same. The price of your internet. With the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. From streaming to shopping, Prime helps you get more out of your passions. So whether you're a fan of true crime or prefer a nail-biting novel from time to time, with services like Prime Video, Amazon Music, and fast free delivery, Prime makes it easy to get more out of whatever you're into or getting into. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to learn more.
WTL.
It's time!
WTL.
I think we got a show. Oh yeah, we got a show.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I am your host, Andy Classen, joined by Jeremy Odem, sports writer, stand-up comedian. Is there anything you don't do?
You know, lately I haven't been doing the dishes. It's going to be a problem.
Get you in some trouble here.
Yeah, but don't worry, Ashley, I'll get that figured out.
The missus guy has to give you a break. It's game week. It's Thursday night. We're at Arrowhead. We're talking Husker football here. I mean, we got to start with the Big Red. So much buzz. I didn't think it could get any bigger a couple of weeks ago. And then we have an engagement announcement. We might have some really high-profile, high-esteemed fans. I don't know. I mean, what are you hearing about this? Taylor Swift?
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce.
That's the thing. America's first couple might make their first appearance after being engaged at Arrowhead Stadium for the Huskers game. That's incredible.
Oh, I put it out on a post on our YouTube channel, a Polymarket bettor. He must have caught wind of something, but he put $12,000 down that the engagement was going to come out within 24 hours, and he raked in $50,000 on that wager.
You know, I'm disappointed because I thought we were going to get a heads up. I thought we were going to get like a countdown on the new height, like on her website. New Heights have put it out,
right?
And there'd just be an announcement on the cover of a new variant for vinyl or something. Like that's what I was hoping for when the engagement announcement come out. But
it was just off the gram, wasn't it? The Instagram?
Yeah, just an Instagram post. How quickly do you think Kelce is going to change the name of the back of his jersey to Swift? Like, there's got to be a line on that, right?
That has to be on Polymarket. We'll have to go check that. We'll have to check that out. He catches so much flack for not being the breadwinner in that relationship. That's just hilarious.
He's close to retirement.
Yeah.
I mean, she is 100% with an older man. I mean, he's on the edge of retirement, end of his career. He's looking to settle down. This is going to be a different pace for her.
Jeremy, he makes her happy. So, I mean, that's what it's all about, right?
At the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Well, at the end of our day, we're talking money line, and that line has moved to minus 315 for Nebraska, so maybe not as juicy as you'd like. But the point spread, which we've been talking about at length, has steadied out at 7 on our local books here, minus 110 bet, but a minus 7. So the Huskers have to win by more than a touchdown in order to get that bet. I really liked it at 6.5. I said that last week a couple of times. The more I look into this game, I think I still like even the 7. I don't know if I want to go much further than that, but I think Nebraska can get that because it's going to be pretty much a crazy home game.
It is. And it sounds like the crowd that goes to away games is a lot more rowdy than the home crowd, right? And now you've added that it's only 2.5, 3 hours away.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be a rowdy crowd wearing red. I loved it also at 6.5, 7. I'm selling myself on it. I don't know if it's all the excitement of the engagement, but I am really starting to settle in on that 7.
Just like you said there, and I think there's multiple articles out there talking about the difference between the away Nebraska fans and the home fans. So we get to forget the Nebraska nights. We're far enough away from home where we can kind of let our voices be heard. And, oh, by the way, the NFL is sponsored by Bud Light. What did Bud Light just do? Came out with the Nebraska custom can.
Yep. I
think those tall boys are going to be in slim pickings towards the end of that third quarter. I think the Big Red fans, they've maybe not forgotten, but they've forgiven Bud Light. And they're ready to put a few back at Arrowhead.
Well, that's the thing is that's what Nebraskans do. They go to Casey Mo to let loose a little bit. This is perfect. We're going to get Bud Lights. We're going to have the red N on it. It's going to be a wild Thursday night. I'm excited.
Okay, let's get to that over under 51.5. We're doing predictions on the Nebraska Football Now show a day ago, Jake Bartecki and I. And if I'm going by my prediction, I guess I'm going over.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going over.
And I don't think there's a reason not to. I mean, it does appear that there's going to be some extra excitement. There's going to be a lack of defense. I think there's going to be a lack of defensive pressure on the Cincinnati side. So our offense should be able to really hopefully open up.
Yeah.
We've also struggled with that to start the season. So,
and Husker fans, we fall victim to it every year. Well, this year's different. This year's different. If I'm believing what I'm hearing coming out of camp, I like the new offensive group, offensive wide receiver group.
Right.
Really like our tight ends. I've said that before. I know maybe there's no flashy big names, but there's some really reliable veterans there. Lindenmeyer, you got Harburg moving over to tight end. He's got great hands, great speed. He's a trackster. So I really like who Dylan can, spread the ball around to. I know you have some questions at running back, but I'm starting to buy into it a little bit. If for no other reason, I really like our depth at offensive line.
Yeah, the offensive line looks like it's the best it's been in a long time. Yeah. The wide receiver core, that's going to be something to watch. I mean, obviously that's the level of the offense. We're looking to really take a jump this season. But and I love the idea of not having a name, in quotes, name at tight end. Because you just want to have a plug and play and put in who's hot or just go and not necessarily feel forced like that guy's got to be in, which we've had the last couple of seasons, a name out there that the people are saying he needs to be in. But no, this offense looks like it's prepared to take the next step. We have the right quarterback.
I think so.
People might get confused on Thursday on who's who out there because we're going to have the NFL version and the NCAA version out there. But,
and our number 15 might want to fade some of that talk, but it's like, buddy, you brought that talk into existence.
Yes.
So don't try to step away from it now. He was on that CBS roundtable with his teammates and how he doesn't like it when the youngins call him Mini Mahomes.
Mini Mahomes. You wear the sunglasses. You have the haircut. He
said he had the haircut first. He said
he had it first. Okay. Okay. Look, I'm a huge fan of him. I hope he's here 4 years, and I hope he does everything that he says he's going to accomplish at Nebraska.
Love the confidence.
You're never going to walk away from the Mahomes stuff. I mean, just never going to.
And I feel like some of it is curated and put out there and made, and it's almost like the two are building this brand together, this look together, over the top pit viper sunglasses.
Right.
Is that like an old school Jerry curl but heightened a little bit? Like what do we got? I don't know. What do we got going on there? I'm not the fashion guy.
There's I will say this. I work in retail, and there's a lot of young kids with that hairstyle. A lot of young kids. So it's in for sure.
It really is. When I know those sunglasses are in because like the entire baseball team shows up with those. It did some little league coaching this year, and it wasn't just our team; it was every team.
Yeah.
With those sunglasses, which I think that's more of a baseball sunglasses anyway.
It's definitely for baseball. Yeah.
But I think with Mahomes, Mini Mahomes, I don't know. Can we call him that, or is that just something that he doesn't want kids younger than him to call him?
Yeah, I think it's the younger kids. I think he's cool if we call him that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm under the impression anyway.
I'm under the impression if anyone compares me to Patrick Mahomes in any kind of way,
it's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
There's worse people.
I'm going to take it. We were hearing a lot about there's going to be an overwhelming amount of Husker fans. Do you think there's going to be any Cincinnati fans? I mean, let's not forget, both Kelseys went to Cincinnati. It appears they're going to be on the sideline, kind of going back and forth with the Bussin' with the Boys guys. Will Compton's been kind of loud and proud and put out a bet to those guys. Do you think Cincinnati is going to bring a crowd at all?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a good contingent of Cincinnati fans. And I think when you really think about it, I don't know, have you ever been to Cincinnati? Kansas City's like going to the beach. I mean, this is going to be quite the stop for Cincinnati locals. So I do envision a good contingent of Cincinnati fans. It's going to be overwhelmingly Nebraska, and it's going to be loud and it's going to be red. But no, I expect to see a good number, good showing. Yeah,
they're probably going to be
especially out in the parking lot.
Probably going to be wearing a lot of black. With jerseys there. Real quick here, while we've got just a little bit of time here, I'm looking up a first half spread that just came out, and Nebraska's at -3.5. Do you think at halftime we could be beating the Bearcats by more than 3.5 points?
If we're not, I'm officially concerned about the 7.
Yeah, exactly.
And that will obviously start to play in with the mental stuff. I believe in that mental thing where when you're on the field and if things aren't quite going to game plan or things start to sway the other way, how it affects you, especially coming into the second half, right? And the clock's ticking. If we're not covering, you said 3.5. Yeah, I'm starting to get nervous about that 7 for sure.
Yeah, I might feel better about that 3.5 than I do the 7 because how many times have we seen Nebraska get that big lead? Okay, now you got to hold on to it. And I'm not going back 10 years, 7 years. This is during the Matt Rule era.
Correct.
Where his teams just play fantastic in the first half. We even saw it in the Colorado game, probably the most fun game I've watched as a Husker fan over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
But that second half, like, whoa, what are we doing here? Like, we just got to hold on. We're giving up big plays, but we built such a big lead. It didn't matter at that point. But this is a game, and Cincinnati is a team I feel like we cannot allow that to happen. They're too talented. They brought in a returning quarterback as well that passed for nearly 3,000 yards last year.
Yeah.
So he's no slouch.
And you know what? And that's been the difference between Rules era and then some of the previous ones we've had is where we don't make those second half adjustments. It really is the first half and then, all right, and then hopefully we can hold on. Yeah. That quarterback, this actually does kind of remind me a little bit of when we've had those 2 matchups with Colorado recently. And it's like, don't let that guy beat us. Don't let the quarterback beat us. But if our Deshaun Singleton, our defensive back,
hey, he's looking good.
He's hyped. He said the Huskers are going to make people in wheelchairs stand up. If you're believing that, I think they have a game plan that's going to take care of business against Cincinnati.
Oh, boy, I hope so. And they also brought in a running back from Wisconsin who rushed for over 50 yards on us and limited carries last year, season ago, for the Badgers. So I'm just making the point. They are talented.
They're good.
And you're going to have to play 4 quarters. Nebraska, give it to us. Give us 4 quarters at Arrowhead. Can we do it?
Oh, we have to.
I think so.
We have to.
I think so. I think we can do it. Well, we're up against the clock here, but let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is the Stock and Rod Company, an outdoor lifestyle brand for those seeking adventure. Whether it's hunting, fishing, or hiking, they got you covered. Visit stockandrod.com to get your wild game on. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.
The Jack Welch Management Institute at Strayer University helps you go from, I know the way, to I've arrived with our top 10 ranked online MBA. Gain skills you can learn today and apply tomorrow. Get ready to go from make it happen to made it happen and keep striving. Visit strayer.edu/Jack Welch MBA to learn more. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
WTL.
I'm just a big, hairy American winning machine. If you ain't first, you're last.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. You know what that stands for. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Classen, joined by
J.O.
That's Jeremy Odem. You know who that man
As
is.
if you didn't know.
Yes, as if you didn't know. Have you ever been to the Funny Bone? You know this guy.
That's right. You've been to the Bone. You've seen me. I've been cracking jokes since 2023. I was just trying to look for something that rhymed.
Well, and I'm going to give you some material to work with here because we're talking NFC North, so you're going to be able to crack on jokes on my Bears as much as you want. So
I'm looking forward to
this
that.
is the platform for that. No, but we're going to be talking NFC North, who we like, who we don't like, the favorites on down the line. We have the Lions leading the pack. They are your favorites. They have a dominant offense, but they're facing some turnover on that coaching staff. Packers, they're a sweetheart pick. They did get some roster upgrades, you could say. Vikings, there's some new optimism around their new quarterback, JJ. I know you like JJ.
I do.
And they upgraded their O-line, but they're still considered kind of outlanders. A lot of people thought maybe they batted a little out of their league last year, and they're going to come back down to earth.
Right.
The Bears, they're going to be the long shot. I know they're catching a lot of hype right now. I just think people are talking about the Bears now because they're not going to be able to 4 or 5 weeks into the season. That's my take. I do like getting the coach from Detroit. I think he should help Caleb Williams, but we'll see how that all plays out. So let's start with the Detroit Lions. They are your favorites to three-peat as the winners of the NFC North. Odds makers continue to kind of separate them. They're at a +50 to a +175, depending on where you're shopping.
Yeah, locally we have them at 135 to win the NFC North.
Tightened up.
They're at a 10.5 over/under as far as the wins this season. That's the thing. You can take the under in order to find the favorite right now at -143. So. Yeah. It's very rare that we've been talking Lions and a three-peat or a two-peat or even the one-peat, but here we are. This is their window. Yep. Jared Goff's led them to a different style of football that they have not seen in a long time in Detroit, and I think there's no question they're the favorite. Is the window closing, and they missed it.
Yeah, and everybody loves their coach, and they want to see him, hang on to it, not just lose his coaches and fade off. I do think they're about as talented as you can get as far as the NFC North goes. Jahmyr Gibbs, top pick in fantasy. Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra, St. Brown. He's an elite receiver. Sam Laporta should have a bounce back year. I know he kind of had that sophomore slump, but I'm looking for him to rebound at tight end. So I really like that offense. And if they have to get into a shootout, we've seen it plenty of times, the Lions can win those shootouts.
Yeah, they're built for the shootout, and they focused on the defense when they were looking at additions this season. They added cornerback DJ Reed, defensive tackle Roy Lopez. I mean, they knew where they needed help, and they went out and got some pieces. But the thing is, we know what their offense is capable of. They're going to go out and do it again. Is it going to be enough? Did the rest of the division start to catch up with them? And that's generally what happens.
It really is, and that's how the schedule in the NFL works out. It's made for parity. Yes. You played the best last year, therefore you're going to have the toughest schedule this year. Are you concerned with both coordinators leaving the Lions? I mean, they just started, tasting the success, and now we got to start over with the new offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator up there for the Lions.
I think that's when you really start to see how good this head coach is and his culture.
Yeah.
Once the coordinators leave, which they're designed to do that. The whole point is to promote your guys out, right?
Yeah.
So to see what they do this season, I think is really going to stand a stamp on this era of Lions football.
I love it. All right, let's move on to the Green Bay Packers. This team is probably more all over the board when I talk to people. I like them, I love them, I hate them, I don't know. But they have the widest spectrum, I guess. I think their value is where it needs to be, though. If I'm going to take a team to win the division, I like the +280 here with Green Bay. It appears that they found their guy in Jordan Love. I know people are thinking maybe they played kind of like the Vikings last year, maybe better than what they were supposed to.
Yep.
I don't know. That's just what Green Bay does year in, year out.
Well, we're accustomed to Green Bay being good.
Yeah.
But when you really look at it, they were ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
And I think that showed in the end.
That's a great way to put it.
Yep. And so that's where it's all right, well, if they were ahead of schedule last year, this year they really hold true to what they're trying to build there. I think you're right at that 280. Why not? If you're a Green Bay believer, that would be the one to do. 9.5 is that kind of that over and under line people are taking. They're minus money on both over and under. I don't know. They're probably going to fall right in that range.
And I love their head coach being a former Omaha Beef wide receiver, Matt LaFleur, and he's always had a good offense. They're saying this year he's got a good defense to go along with that offense. He's also added Josh Jacobs and rookie wide receiver. Wow. Matthew Golden. Some people are high on him. Some people don't think he's going to be a bust.
I like him.
I know. I like how I hate writing these young guys off before their career even starts.
That's what we do. We really should do more of that. We need to shut these guys down now. Get them talking about us.
Yeah.
And then when they blow up, they're like, well, the WTL never believed in me. We believe in you now.
Yeah. Yeah, give them something to strive for. Give them some bullet.
Let's be part of their story. Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew Golden. What did you do other than just have a stellar, college career, and then get drafted highly? But no, I think that might be the best value out of this division in that plus 280 for the Packers. And Matt LaFleur, he kept his entire coaching staff intact. Unlike Detroit, that's got to account for something.
It's got to make a difference, yeah.
All righty, let's move on down the list to the Minnesota Vikings. You're high on J.J. McCarthy. A little more optimism than me. Odds are around anywhere between plus 300, 290, plus 320s out there.
Yeah, they're and locally they're at plus 375 right now.
Ooh.
So I don't know if it was just the little excitement around the Packers just kind of skewing away the Vikings, but 9.5, same as the Pack, is kind of where the over/under is for wins for the Vikings, and the under is the favorite at minus 134. But I like them. I like J.J. McCarthy. I've got confidence in a guy who's talented, who got to sit an entire year and watch the NFL happen in front of him. And, like I was saying during the fantasy football segment a couple weeks ago, 80% of their scores came through the air.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy's plenty capable of doing that, even though he didn't really showcase that as much in college.
Well, was that because he didn't have to, and that's not what that offense is?
Right.
Or is it because he wasn't capable?
It's because it'd be required. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, you look at the weapons that...
He's got maybe the best receiver in all of NFL. No one's going to argue that, right?
Yeah.
You're going to see the gritty week in and week out in the end zone. Do you have any concerns on defense, though?
Yes, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Like, I like them. They're like a middle-of-the-pack defense. I think one of my buddies, he's a diehard Vikings fan, so he's really depressed, right? Because he's had to go year in, year out with this excitement of Vikings football. He said if we can finish the Vikings defense in like the top 20 of the league, even 25, he said they're a playoff team.
Okay.
And I said, okay, so you're a mediocre at best type of defense. And he goes, absolutely. This isn't going to be, we're not winning football games because of the defense, but the offense is going to be enough to carry them.
Yeah.
We just have to stay in the game.
When they shipped off one of their favorite defensive linemen, local guy Harrison, during preseason there, and that's a kind of a low bar trying to be top 25, top 20 defense. So, and this is where I go back to, this is why Detroit is out in front and why they're probably going to win the division. If the Vikings are going to try and do a shootout with Detroit, they're probably going to lose. You still need to have a defensive component.
You do, but it's just a matter of like, are we relying on our secondary? Are we relying on the pressure? Like what area of the defense is our strength? Mm-hmm. And I do think that the secondary is going to be kind of where they can hold on a little stronger.
They can hold on just enough.
Just enough, yeah.
What's their total at?
9.5.
9.5?
Yep.
Oh, give me the under all day.
Yeah. They just made a trade. I don't know if you saw this. They just brought back favorite Adam Thielen from Carolina.
Give me the under. Give me the under.
It's funny. It reminds me of a few years ago. This is quite a few years ago when they traded back for Randy Moss to have the big homecoming Randy Moss. Yeah. This is like the Vikings version of that, except from Temu. So they're
you're comparing your offense to Temu. You got to take the under with me. All right, let's go with our lovable Chicago Bears here. They are the long shot, plus 550. There are reasons to like him. New head coach, Ben Johnson, comes over from Detroit. I like that move. I just don't think it's enough. I like that they have revamped the offensive line or helped out the offensive line. You got to do whatever you can now to try and help out your number one pick, protect your number one pick in Caleb Williams. I just don't know if there's enough pieces there where you look at Detroit and like, that's a roster. And there's things to like about Minnesota's roster. I just see too many holes in Chicago. I like the value with the other two teams in the division. Chicago, for me, stay away.
So, hand up, I was one of those guys last season that said, this is going to be a team that's better than expected.
Here we go.
Let's go. The Bears are back. But then, obviously after week 1, I completely shut that down and put my hands behind my back like it's over. I'm not going to be that guy this year. I don't like this football team.
There is a lot of hub right now, a lot of hype talking about the Bears.
Yeah, I do like the direction with the new head coach. And it could be a matter of hopefully they believe in this guy and they let him progress and give him a few years. I don't know. I feel like there's some pressure there to win now, and that's tough in the NFL.
Well, yeah, when you're a general manager and you spend so much to get a number 1 pick like Caleb Williams, you're on the clock, right?
Right.
You got to make this work. So then that pressure, it goes downhill.
Yeah.
as you say. So I do think you're right in that. What's that win total right now for the Bears?
It's at 8.5.
The Bears.
Yeah,
Under.
and the under is the favorite, minus 134.
Under.
I'm taking under 100%.
Yeah, when we get to the bottom 2 teams there, I'm looking at the unders. The top 2 teams, I like the overs with the Vikings and Detroit. So are we both on Detroit then to win this division?
Yeah, I think Detroit's going to repeat.
Just too much talent up and down the roster.
Absolutely.
Don't overthink it. I like that. All right, you heard the horn. That means we're up against it, but let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is thelinemakers.com. They don't chase hype, they decode it by applying stock market trading discipline to live sporting events, treating every wager like an investment. Thelinemakers.com. They make the line so you beat the book. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.
WTL.
On a juvenile delinquent in the offseason in his major league debut. In the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. This is a very special segment. I am fired up about it. We are bringing back Rod Vermilio to the program. Rod, how are we doing?
We're doing great. Sitting here enjoying some of this Florida sunshine and the beach for a little bit as we travel around, and looking forward to a great football season and being part of your show with your team.
Yeah, we're fired up to be part of your guys' trading group as well. You are founder of the Global Sports Bet Network. We're partnering up with you guys, launching a brand new platform, website, thelinemakers.com. I've been teasing it. I've been talking to some close friends about it. It's so awesome that we finally get to unveil this and be part of your guys' ecosystem. So thank you for that and all the work you guys have done behind the scenes.
Hey, we enjoyed last year getting to meet with you and you seeing a little bit about what we do as syndicate traders in Vegas and around the world. And so, I'm glad that we've kept in touch. You've taken the time and effort to really follow what we're doing so that you know that it's good product, and I appreciate our relationship with you guys.
Well, and some of these numbers you got to love. You guys are a U.S.-based syndicate trading group showing that your proprietary sports day trading software has produced a plus 79.91 net profit. That's year to date. That includes MLB, NFL, college football, soccer on the national stage. So you guys are on it and you're producing just bang up numbers. And if I'm a layman, and when we talk, please talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old, would you, Rod? But you're taking, what you learn from, day trading in the finance world, and you're applying that to live sporting events.
Yeah, so we've written a software. It's got over 30 years of data, over 60 sports seasons. The software itself is a proprietary software. It's ranging 60 to 120% annual returns, which is incredibly well. A lot of people out there don't have, or I'm not going to say a lot of people, most people out there don't have anything that works long term. And so, what we've done is taking a software that is geared towards the Forex market and the stock and futures market and flip that script over into the sports betting world And we handle all major men's sports and WNBA, including international and domestic soccer.
Yeah, and you guys produce a lot of information that we're getting, access to and curated so that we can share with our audience, our viewers. All they got to do is go to linemakers.com, obviously. I looked at a couple worksheets that you sent my way, and there's some big names, some big teams there that we got to talk about. Kickoff is just hours away for the Nebraska Huskers versus Cincinnati. I know you guys have your eye on this game as well. This line has seen some movement, not a lot, but we're seeing a lot of books around our area bumped up to 7-point favorite towards the Huskers. It was at 6.5 last week when we did our recording. That money line now is at a minus 286 towards the Big Red.
Yeah, so last year Nebraska goes 7-6, and I think they won the Pinstripe Bowl. So,
oh yeah,
line, the lines moved from 6.5 to 7. Totals hovering around 53. I think one of the biggest things for Nebraska is their offensive line. So they have a combined 227 games of experience, which is 13th in the nation. And I think running the ball for them this week is going to be the key in order to set up the play action pass and then be able to get the ball downfield on a few long pass plays. But, Cincinnati, their quarterback returns, but they lost 4 of, his top 5 receivers. So, he passed for over 2,800 yards. So a good quarterback's going to be a good test for Nebraska. Early in the season, you got to just kind of tread lightly. And, Nebraska's going to qualify for a syndicate play for us. If that line is 6.5 to 7, jump on that line. And like I said, if you can find it at 6.5, take it. We'll be playing it as a syndicate. It's got a 71.9% probability to win on the money line. And but we see this game at a 30-20, 30-23 line. So we're also, for those of you that like to play teasers, take Nebraska at a pick'em and under 60.
I love that. And that really showcases how you guys are really focusing in on the day trading model. And that's how you treat sports betting. It's more of a long-term investment, not just a fly-by-night, the hype, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift going to be there. What are we going to do? It's kind of going in the opposite direction.
Yeah, we use the software, and, we've talked about this, and that's what I think makes WTL and what's going to make our show a little bit stand out a little bit above the rest is because most of the people out there are scraping the same data, right? Anybody can find this data and trends and analysis and stuff like that. There's a lot of key factors when you go to sports bet to be successful. Getting a good line in football is imperative. And so, we run everything through a software. I don't, I get asked all the time, who do you like today? And my response is, I don't like any of them. Whatever the computer is telling us to play, that's what we play. And so the other thing is anybody can tell you what to play. Our software has 2 different distinct aspects. One, it's the bet and trade, and that's what you'll see on the worksheets when subscribers get. And don't get me wrong, the games that we're going to talk about, we've got about 17 games in college football and 14 games in NFL looking to qualify as syndicate plays this week. So, we don't, all these trends and all these things that everybody else do, that's one thing, that's one aspect. We don't follow that per se. Ours is a totally different day trading software. Not only do we tell you the bets and trades to make, but we give you the exact amount, a percentage for your capital bankroll. That's what nobody else in the industry does. We do it because we're trading millions of dollars around the world. And so we do it on a percentage basis of our bankroll that we have allocated for each and every sport. So that's the difference.
You mentioned the worksheets, Rod. There's a team that also has a lot of buzz about it. We got to get into it, and I think it might be a line that you guys are favoring. That's the Chiefs, -3 over the Chargers. Money line set at a -177.
Yeah, this game, the last 4 games, the last 14 games, the Chiefs are 4-10 against the spread. But the Chiefs have won 7 straight head-to-head meetings going back to 2021 with the Chargers. This game, when you look at the numbers at a -3, it's going to favor the Chiefs. The Chargers could pull an upset here, so I want everybody to really take a closer look at this game and they had a really ugly loss last year in the Super Bowls, we all know, to the
Philadelphia.
To Philadelphia, and so I think that this could be a hangover game for the Chiefs. I want to tell everybody and warn everybody about that. I do have a couple of props I'd like to mention on this game that I think are good values, and that's Khalil Mack to record a sack. It's +150. And then I think McConkey's going to get over 5.5 receptions. But I do think the Chiefs pull this game out. I do think they win. So if it stays at -3 or 2.5, I would, this is going to qualify as a syndicate play. But also, with it coming from Brazil, a lot of times we'll negate those as syndicate plays. I like a tease on this game at the Chargers +10.5 because I think the Chiefs win, but I think it's close. But Chargers could upset them and go over 39 for a 7-point tease. So the Chargers +10.5 and the over 39 on a 7-point tease is my safest play for that game.
Love that info. Also, how it's at a neutral site and it's actually out of the country, so that negates it being an actual syndicate trade for you. A line that's kind of at the bottom of the list the other way, and I want to get your reasoning why it's not at the top. Vikings -2 over the Chicago Bears. That's at a -125, favoring the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, this is a really tough game, and I know that your Minnesota fans aren't going to like hearing this, but they got a lot of talent. I think they overachieved last year. That was a magical run for them. Came up a little short at the end, and you're going to have an inexperienced quarterback. We just don't know how well he's going to play. Caleb Williams on the other side for the Bears, he underachieved for expectations for last year, and so I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. And I know that in the offseason, the Bears addressed their biggest issue in their offensive line. So it's not a syndicate trade on either side, but I think the Vikings do win this game, but it could be very, very close and should be close. And again, if Chicago comes out like they're expected to, and the Vikings are on a little bit of a hangover from last year's overachievement, I think that Chicago takes this game. So another 7-point tease here if you want any action on this. It's a Monday night game, so there's not a lot of action on the board. So we'll be playing a 7-point tease at Chicago +8.5 and under 50.
All right, Nate, thank you for taking the time and breaking that all down for us. The season is just getting started. Husker fans can't wait. We're almost there. We're chomping at the bit, but we're up against it time-wise, so I got to take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is thelinemakers.com, where they don't chase the hype, they decode it by applying stock market trading discipline to live sporting events, treating every wager like an investment. Thelinemakers.com. They make the line so you beat the book. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.
WTL.
Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, and D Classen, joined by
J.O.
We got the J.O. Jeremy Odem back in studio. Just got done talking with Rod Vermilio.
Yo, anytime someone's going to hype up Lad McConkey, give it to me. I don't care who you are.
He was saying that, and I was rolling my eyes. I'm like, I can't believe you're talking up the Chargers right now.
Go Bolts.
He did an amazing job of saying the Chiefs are going to win, but, man, I really like the Chargers.
Yeah, as one should. This is going to be a fun season.
I don't know. I kind of like his flyer on Mac getting a sack. I kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Let the big dog eat.
Let the big dog eat, exactly. No, I love everything he's preaching. He's obviously has the data to back him up on what he's saying, so I believe it.
Yep.
And looking forward to see it all happen, roll out in front of my eyes. But yeah, anyone who's buying the Chargers, let's go.
Let's go. Well, we signed off that last segment with the linesmaker.com, so I thought we'd get the guy on that created it, that gives us that 30 years of data, to fall back on. So that was really good to hear from Rod there. But let's get into more futures here and division winners. We are talking AFC North, just like we talked about the NFC North. I want to give us a quick rundown here. Your Ravens are your overall favorites to win that division. They have a very high win total, and they got some elite talent. Just start with Lamar Jackson, their quarterback. Bengals, though, are right on them. They're the top challengers. They, too, have a lot of talent on offense. Possibly the best wide receiver in the game. It's just that, oh boy, does their offensive line, can they protect Joe? Can they protect Joe Burrow? Then you have the two underdogs, you could say, with the Steelers and the Browns. I don't know. The Steelers still slap together 8 or 9 wins every year, so I feel like you got to look out for them. It's just that roster doesn't make you believe that.
No.
And then the Browns. We're going to have fun talking about the Browns here in a minute.
Let's go Cleveland.
Let's go Cleveland. Well, let's start with those Baltimore Ravens. They are your betting markets. They're your favorites on every single book out there, and it's ranging from minus 155 to minus 160 to win that division title. Seeing win totals from 11.5 to 12 games. Jeremy, are you seeing much the same over there?
Yeah, locally we've got them, the favorites at minus 155 and 11.5. Over on the win total
Still get that hook.
And they are the favorite to win the AFC Championship as well at plus 325. So a lot of people on the talent in Baltimore with good reason.
Oh, yeah. And it's a hungry team too, right?
Yes.
It's been close. And this year might be their year. Yeah, I'm seeing that they're a Super Bowl contender, Super Bowl favorite. Not overall, but they are right there.
Right there.
And it's, I don't know. With the NFC North, it's pretty easy. I thought it was pretty easy to find issues or problems. I think you kind of got to dig a little bit here if you want to poke holes in the Ravens.
Yeah, the biggest issue is that their kicker likes to have a little fun extracurricular, and I know we're not going to get into Justin Tucker's exploits, but they have the coaching staff that we kind of talked about with Detroit that's being tested this year, where the coordinators have left. What is the culture about now? We know what John Harbaugh is about. He has been there forever. He's one of the longest reigning head coaches in the NFL, all with Baltimore.
Yep.
And he's had guys come and go. It doesn't matter. He's going to be right there. Yep. And he's got, a multi-time MVP in Lamar Jackson at quarterback. He's incredible.
Yep.
The defense is always good to great.
Yeah.
This is we know we're going to get out of Baltimore. It really, honestly, it just comes down to what happens at crunch time when we get to playoff time. I mean, don't you think that's what it comes down to with these guys?
It really does. They're going to be in the playoffs. I don't think there's any doubt with that. And if they're going to be in the playoffs, looking at this division, I'm thinking they're winning the division because there are question marks with the Cincinnati Bengals. I've always loved Harbaugh's approach just to the game of football in general.
Right.
You run the ball first, dominate the line of scrimmage, and then if things don't go right for you on offense, lean on your defense. How many times? He's taken some pretty average, mid offensive teams to the playoffs and won playoff games just on that defense alone.
Yeah, I mean, they've had some of the, one of the worst. His name escapes me. In fact, I think he's a coordinator in L.A. now for the Chargers. He's one of the worst offensive coordinators that's ever been.
Dilfer gets so much hate out there. He gets so much shade out there. Trent Dilfer, my goodness.
But if you're going to run the ball first, why not have Derrick Henry? right? So they brought back Derrick Henry. Yeah. That's huge. They've added veteran wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. He's still got a little in the tank. We saw it in Kansas City. Yeah. He was okay for him. So the Ravens, they didn't just sit back and say, okay, we're built, we're good enough. They went out and got some guys and re-signed some guys to make a difference and win this division again.
No, I feel like it's a hungry team, a dangerous team. Right there behind them, though, is Cincinnati Bengals. They are your primary challengers. Odds put them around plus 230, plus 260. I'm seeing to win that division crowd. They have a ton of talent on offense. It just remains, what about their run defense? What about that offensive line? And I don't know if I saw enough moves during the offseason to answer any of those questions.
No, they spent the offseason figuring out how to sign their top rookie, how to sign their top defensive player, which they did just, sign Trey Hendrickson to a 1-year deal, so he will be there. But they spent the whole offseason just trying to have guys on defense that can make a difference.
I mean, Husker shout-out, Cam Taylor-Britt might be their second-best defensive player.
He might be,
So, I mean, I'll give him a little bit of credit there. But even with all that offensive talent, we saw it flash once all the way to the Super Bowl.
Right.
But they're not going to sneak up on anybody this time around. And I just feel like what we talked about at length there with Baltimore, their guard is up, and that's a hungry team. Cincinnati, you're going to have to take that second place, I think.
So at 9.5 is the win total there.
They can get that.
Yeah, I think they get there.
Yeah.
As long as they keep their quarterback upright, the playmakers are there. Jamar Chase is your number one projected fantasy football player, so he's going to eat. I like it. I mean, I like their offense enough to say they'll compete with Baltimore and be in there for second. For second place. Yeah.
There you go. That's a nice way of putting it. They're going to compete.
Yes.
all the way to second place.
Correct.
All right, let's go down the ladder here a little bit. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they're positioned right at about plus 550 on a lot of books right around there. They are the clear underdogs to win this. They have great stability, much like Baltimore, with Coach Tomlin being there for going on his 78th year, 79th year as the head coach, something like that.
Congratulations.
Way to go, Mr. Mike Tomlin. And I absolutely love the quarterback they brought in, if for no other reason. We're going to get some headlines.
The Steelers are fun. Their win total is 8.5. Of Mike Tomlin's head coach, they're gonna be there.
Yeah. If they could win 8.5 games, they would. It would just be 8.5.
They would 100%. If they could somehow figure out to get that half, they would do this. No, the Steelers are like, you don't know what to make of them. You don't like them. You don't hate them. They're gonna line up every Sunday, maybe on a Monday occasionally, one Thursday for sure. Like that's
the last 10 years. So
like
the last 10 years, they're good for 8 to maybe 10 wins if they catch a break or two.
Yeah.
And that's not gonna challenge Baltimore.
Is it weird to compare them to those 9-win Husker teams where it was like, we know what we're getting. We know what we're getting.
Okay,
we love them.
Yep.
If I'm a Pittsburgh fan,
Yeah.
I'm like, I know what I'm getting. I love my head coach. My players are guys that can compete.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always compared that.
That's it. That's an interesting comparison because, I'm thinking like the Tommy Armstrong, Taylor Martinez teams.
Yes.
Uber talented.
Yep.
They could play with an Ohio State. They could beat a Wisconsin, but they would drop too many games. They would lose to a Georgia Southern or something.
Right.
And so you knew you were going to have a fun season. You're going to get to that 9-win mark, which was so important.
Yep. And you know what you're going to get. You give you just enough to be excited, but you just little enough for your head coach to be on the line and get the tough questions.
Yeah. Get defensive about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the Steelers are the Huskers.
We're gonna run with that. We're gonna keep track of that. I like that comparison. All right, let's get to the heavy underdogs, and we're talking about the Dogs out in Cleveland, the Browns. Plus 3,000 odds to win the division.
3,000.
Not to win the AFC, to win the North. Is
just
that
to win
plus
the North.
3,000? I don't know where you want to start with this. They have 4 or 5 quarterbacks on their roster. I don't think would start for very many other teams, any of them.
None of them.
Offensive line is dealing with injuries right now, and it wasn't a stacked offensive line to begin with. Where do you want to start?
Well, 4.5 is the win total there, so that kind of tells the story.
Under.
That they are.
I think I can take the under on that.
It's funny. Over is the favorite, and I don't know if that's Cleveland fans jumping on Joe Flacco, getting real excited about Joe Flacco.
Well, how could you not get excited about a guy that's like, hey, I was sitting on my couch and I got a phone call, and I guess I'm in the NFL again.
Let's not forget he won a Super Bowl. Now, that was, 10, 15 years ago? I don't know how long ago it was, but he did win a Super Bowl. But, it's just wild to me. As soon as they said, all right, Joe Flacco, and this was like early in the offseason, Joe Flacco has been decided to be backup quarterback. It's like he's going to start in this team. It doesn't matter who they draft.
Yeah.
He's going to be starting quarterback.
Oh, and they did draft a quarterback, didn't they? Or two.
They drafted a couple of them. One in particular likes to get things stirred up, and that's Shedeur Sanders. Or it's not even him that gets it stirred up. It's the rest of us. And he actually looked kind of fun in preseason when he played.
He did look good. And the fun little fake tweet came out that they retired his number.
Yeah.
And it was not given, it was earned. And, and Dylan Gabriel, who they drafted a number of rounds before Shedeur Sanders, is sitting there like, what are we doing? How has he drawn this much attention? I'm still ahead of him in the depth chart. And now he definitely is, because Sanders has been sidelined with an injury, unfortunately, for that young man. But I just think Cleveland's in the cellar. That win total at 4.5 tells you all you need to know. I'm actually looking at the under there. I can't believe you're getting plus money on that.
You are getting plus money at the under. There's got to be a line on how many quarters, and I would set the line at 2.5. How many quarters played until the Cleveland crowd is chanting for Shedeur Sanders to play?
And they got, and they have the bags over their heads. And give me Sanders. They're sandbags.
They're sandbags. They actually, they might actually be doing this all on purpose, because they have 10 picks in the 2026 draft, including 2 in the first round. So Cleveland might look bad, but they actually might be really, really smart. So let's give them a little bit of credit.
Oh, you're to me, it sounds like you're talking early 90s Dallas Cowboys here. Where Jerry Johnson was stacking those picks, playing so bad he was going to get all those first-round picks.
It worked out for Dallas.
It did work out. They had a pretty good run there in the early to mid-90s. Well, Jeremy, that's going to about do it for us.
This is fun. Football's back.
It is back. I can't wait to watch the old Huskers here later today. And then just hit the ground running, right?
Yeah, man. I hope Taylor Swift's there.
I think all the buzz is going to be there. Everybody's going to be there, right? Are you going to be there?
I will not. It's actually my daughter's 13th birthday, so I will be home watching the game.
A big red birthday.
Yes, it is.
Jeez, see, everything's happening on Thursday night.
You're going to be at the game?
I will be at the game.
There you go.
Working sideline for News Channel Nebraska. I've never done anything like that, so I'm really looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun.
That's going to be awesome.
Just give us the win, Huskers.
Let's go.
You don't have to cover for me, but you got to win.
Covering would be great.
I do want you to cover.
Yeah.
But give me the win.
Let's just get that win.
For Jeremy Odem, my name's Andy Classen. This has been WTL. Thank you all for listening.